My name is Louise Watson. I've just completed my social work training at Manchester Metropolitan University. I am now based with the Aspire Complex Safeguarding team. So I started in 2008 in Stockport, and I came into a child and family worker role. So I used my degree, which was in the early childhood studies, and my specialist area was the under five. So that was the area that we focused on in my role. You know, it worked really well. I loved my time being location based out in the community. We then went on to being a different real family support worker role where we worked 0 to 19. So that was quite daunting at first because my specialism was the early years, to then go to working with teenagers. Had really lots of support around different training, experiences with working with teenagers, really complemented sort of the skills that I already had and sort of built on those. When Stockport Family came in, I didn't really know what to expect. But I always think with change, if you embrace the change, you're always going to work better in it. It's only if you're resistant to that change that you'll struggle to adapt to a setting. Stockport Family introduced new ways of working for the workforce and how we work with families using restorative practice. So when it came in, I liked the idea of it. It makes sense. It makes perfect sense. Restorative practice isn't rocket science. It's relationship-based working, building on strengths in families. It's what we do anyway. It's what you do as a worker. We have workers who want to do their best for children and will go above and beyond so that children and families achieve the best. And I love working in Stockport. They've been really good with me. I've had lots of opportunities in Stockport to sort of grow and develop in my own self and career. So the learning from practice in Stockport really complemented the teaching from the university. From my understanding, I was able to, I'd had the practice experience. I was then able to relate that better to the theory because I'd already done it. But having the theoretical background of it, it made me be able to relate things a lot better as to why it was working. I knew it worked, but the reasons why it worked was really good. And like I said before, a lot of it isn't rocket science. It is relationship-based practice. It's not doing things to and for people all of the time. There is times where that has to happen, but it's always making sure you're working with the family. So even if you're doing something to the family, they know what's happening, their voice is heard throughout, you're still working with them. I've always loved with Stockport that I've always had very good managers. I think that makes a really, really big difference because you feel supported. You have reflective supervision, where you also have your teams that are together, and your teams are your backbone of all services. I had 2 excellent practice educators, one who had been a practice educator for around 20 years with Stockport. It is my 10-year anniversary in Stockport next year. I love the vision of Stockport Family. It has always been a progressive council testing new ways of working to improve outcomes for the most vulnerable people we work with. I feel valued and supported. I have a manager who is the embodiment of a restorative practitioner, being both highly supportive and highly challenging, which as a newly qualified social worker is so important for my own practice, which then ultimately enables me to be a better social worker for the children and families I work with.